How to use Teams for project management. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how you can use Microsoft Teams for project management. So let's jump right in. Now to get started with Teams, you can choose your Microsoft Teams plan. If you have Microsoft 365, it has Teams included, but if you don't, you can get started for $4 only. And this includes all the essentials. Then you have their Business Basic at $6. Now I'm gonna head on over into Teams over here. And this is the most important part of honestly this entire project management space, is that how are you going to build your team structure for projects to task management and communication. So let's jump right in. First off, when you have teams for projects, we're going to look into the structure of our teams and our projects. And you might be wondering if you should have one team to manage a bunch of smaller projects, or if you have one team per project, and that is going to boil down to two factors. One of that is going to be how difficult or how complex the project is. So for a larger project, you may want to put a unique team, but number two is permissions. So permissions are going to be really important. We need to take a look at what teams actually mean. So if I have this Durden team, all the members that are present within this particular team would have access to a SharePoint site, which is what a team basically is. And whenever you're creating a SharePoint site, you're basically creating a 365 group. So you might want to organize this by department, project, or client, and for your members, you want to think about them as who will you be sharing your content with now. So we get a shared document library where you can organize and store all of your team's files. You also get a OneNote notebook where you can manage your notes and where you can also integrate other applications such as Microsoft Loop, List Planner, Forms, Whiteboard, so that you can easily see the 365 group is at the heart of the Microsoft team. But because everybody that you invite to this team is where we define the permissions, and that is going to have access to all of the resources that are stored within your team. Now that we have seen how permissions are going to play a factor, let's see how I structure both of these teams. So if I want to create a vet clinic, and this is going to be a team where I'm going to be managing smaller projects, nothing too big. Each channel can have its own event, and we can also make this really simplified. So starting off, I'm going to click on Join or Create New Team on the top right, and then click on Create Team. Let's say this is going to be Basic Team, and then we're going to click on Use this template. This is going to be a private team, Sarah's Vet Clinic. And then after that, I can click on Customize Channels, and we can rename this later on as well. Now from here, I can build its own events and its own projects in the form of different channels. All of those channels are going to be part of the larger team and the larger project. However, this can be composed of different phases or of different components of your work. So whenever you're creating a project, it's really important to use the private team, so that ensures that only the people that are on the team have access to the content. And when I actually create these teams, I always start from scratch, so you can browse these templates to brainstorm and get some ideas. So starting off, if I am creating a team that is going to be handling multiple projects, first off, we have a general channel. I'm going to leave this be. Then within your channels, you're going to go on ahead, click on Add Channel, and add your first project. Let's say this is going to be our Adoption Drive project. And then from here, you choose your channel type. So within your channel communications, you can make these private, shared, or standard. If within your team, you want to specify within this project who has access to this particular channel, you can make this private. Now, I prefer to keep this standard because everyone on my team might be working on this. And then the description. So let's say this is going to be on the 11th August Adoption Drive, and then I'm going to click on Create. Once I click on Create over here, we're going to move forward, and from here we have posts and files. Now these particular files, again, although they are going to be shared in a private channel, if they are, those still would actually technically be part of your SharePoint. So I'm going to click on Start a Post. Let's say I want to talk about this is a space for all communication and needs for our adoption drive. And then after that, below that, I can add a checklist of things that need to be done. I can also click on over here and then link this to a loop paragraph. Then below that, I also have the ability to attach different files, messages, or record a video clip. Then click on Post over here. And just like so, you can post. Now, within your specific project, so once we have typed in our message, Then I can click on the plus icon on the top, and I personally love to use Microsoft Planner. You can click on see all and you can see you have multiple different planner and planning applications that you can integrate. I'm going to go with Planner over here. Once I go with Planner, this is going to be my general space that I like to use for any particular project. So if you're doing this for individual projects, again, the way that we're structuring this, where the team is for your entire team and then all the projects are added as separate channels, you're going to have to create these spaces separately. So within our planner, we're going to click on create new plan here. And then you're going to choose a simple plan for this. I'm going to use this template, and this is going to be created for my specific channel over here. And now once I proceed, my planner will be functional. Might take a couple of seconds for this to be refreshed so that we can proceed with our planner. Now in the same way, I can click on add channel and add my second channel, which is going to be my second project. Let's say this is going to be our pecan pie project. And then we're going to choose the channel type. Let's say this is going to be standard, and I'm just going to click on create over here, and my secondary project will be created. So on and so forth, you're going to be creating as many projects as you require. Now, if I add planner over here, you guys will see that when I go ahead and add planner, I can add it as I normally would. So there is no limitation on adding an existing plan. But if two projects are overlapping projects, you can simplify by creating one singular planner for them. This can make it easier for you to just organize everything, and especially if there are two interrelated planners, then it's just easier for your team to work on those. Just like so, we have our planners. Now we can, start adding tasks to them. Now, this is just one way you can do this. The other way you can do this is to, rather than adding both of them under Sarah's Vet Clinic, I can add project create the adoption drive versus a separate team for project pecan pie. So that is up to your personal preference and the way that your team functions. In general, both ways are fine, but it is better to create a hierarchy of your tasks and hierarchy of everything. So task management can be properly created in a workflow, because task management, again, is the ultimate goal for any project manager. So that was it for today. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you found them helpful, make sure to share them with someone you might think that may need these. Share them with your friends, with your family, with your cousins, and share them with any business partners that you might have. And it might help you guys a lot to know all of these techniques and to follow along. And that is the point of our YouTube channel. I want to show you guys on how to glide through these platforms and how to easily navigate and fulfill the purposes that you want to do with these social platforms. And if you have any details that you might want to know, any suggestions, any improvements that you think that I could add on to these videos, so make sure to tell me if you find anything missing. So that was it for today. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.